right now? And if you want to take a step back, and my question is, if it's not where you need to be, does that break your heart? Think about this for a second. Does that break your heart? The breaches and the dysfunction and all those things, does that break your heart? We've been talking about being, committing and establishing our thoughts. And so now we know what the state of the wall is in Jerusalem. And we talked about what the problem is. And we talked about what's going to be next. But now I want to talk to you about what is your position. The problem, the process. But now we want to talk about what is your position. There's a role that you play in this process. If you haven't figured that out by now. You can sit back, you can nod, you can do whatever you want to do, but there's a role that you play. And I say this all the time, that your life is just a glimpse of all the things that you have been speaking. And you are where you are, and granted we've had things and people have had things that have held them back, but many times you are in the position that you are because you have placed yourself in that position, if we're honest. But I'm going somewhere with this. Ezra chapter 2, verse number 1, says, "Now these are the people of the province who came back from captivity, of those who had been carried away, whom Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babylon had carried away to Babylon, and who had returned to Jerusalem and Judah, everyone to his own city." Verse 2 says, "Those who came with Zerubbabel were Joshua, Nehemiah." You can stop right there. I'm going somewhere. Nehemiah's heart was broken because he too came from a place of exile. I said it all before, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Being in exile for most people will drive you to not want to experience that again. I say it for most people. Will drive you. Your heart will break for those who are going down similar paths that you said you've been down before. There are some people, and I emphasize some, there are some people who take the unpleasant things that they've gone through and they use it as fuel to not go back to those places ever again. I use my own personal example with my dad. My dad didn't have a father in his life. He didn't have a loving father in his life. He didn't have many memories of doing different things with his dad. But he used that as fuel, saying, okay, I know what I saw, but I don't want to replicate what I saw. And he used that as fuel to make sure that I'm not going to be the same type of father that my father was. So you see, there is some that take the bad and take the things that we don't like, the ugly things that we try to sweep under the rug, and use that as fuel to go forward with what God has truly intended for them. We may not always get the right hand. You may not always be dealt the best hand, but God is gracious, God is merciful, and God will give us the ability. He will send people alongside of us to equip us and empower us as we go forward. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. But some people also get tripped up and are not able to overcome the traumas or hurts from their past. And they continue to perpetuate the same behavior. And I think about that. That's one of the things that breaks my heart. Seeing people repeat the cycle over and over and over again. And I'm like, okay, my heart breaks because I'm like, if I just get you to get off that hamster wheel, if I can just convince you to stop circling that same mountain over and over again and go northward. If I can just convince you that that's not working, you need to, really truly give God a shot and let God take over your life and move forward. My prayer has always been, Lord, let me remember, but do not let me repeat. Let me remember, but do not let me repeat. And what am I saying? I never stand here, and never will I ever stand here and make it seem like I have it all together, that I grew up with a silver spoon in my mouth, and I'm some super holy saint, and I've never made mistakes. Lord, let me remember, because I want to make sure that my heart still breaks for those, and I can be able to go out there and help. But Lord, let me repeat the things that I've gone through, Lord. Let me use, God, your grace and your mercy as fuel to realize, God, if you can do it for me, you can do it for somebody else. God, let me be a testament that says that it's not how you start, but it's how you finish. Because if people judge me from where I was to where I am today, I'm a totally different person. Let me remember, but do not let me repeat. There's a saying that people say all the time, that rough seas make a good sailor. Essentially, that's saying that what we all know to be true. That experience is the best teacher. Sometimes cruel, many times cruel, but the best teacher. But the Bible teaches that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. So God, you're telling me that I do not have to be ashamed of my past struggle, and speaking about it can make me an overcomer. It can also potentially pull somebody closer to you. Lord, you're saying that these scars, this broken heart, these foolish mistakes, it doesn't disqualify me, but actually it could qualify me for your service? What? God, you're saying that you could use all that? You can make you make it all good, and you didn't say it was all good, but you can make it all good? And this qualifies me? Lord, let me remember, but never let me repeat. If you've never been broke, how are you going to minister to someone who is broke? All right. If you've never been sick, how are you going to say, oh my God is a healer? Yes. How are you going to minister to someone that you can't even relate to? Yeah. All these things that we don't talk about. And we want to be in a church, a true church that ministers to the entire person and shows God. But the thing is, if we're not using our testimony, opening our mouth to talk about what God has delivered us from and what we used to be, and so that people can say, okay, if he did it for you, he can do it for me. Right. Doesn't matter what it is. Foreclosure or repossession or overdrafts or insecurities or divorce or eviction or infidelity or abuse or children out of wedlock. None of these disqualifies you. None of these, we don't talk about that very much in the church, but I'm telling you, none of that disqualifies you. The enemy will come and say, okay, well, you know what you've been through. If people really knew your story, if they knew you did X, Y, Z, then what are people going to say? And I'm telling you right now that this is not the time, this is not the hour for us to be concerned about those things.
Thank you, Lord.
You're telling me that even those things don't disqualify me? You're telling me that these scars that I'm afraid to show, that it doesn't disqualify me?
That's right.
See, sometimes we have to show these scars.
Come on now.
You have to show these scars. I tell my kids all the time, don't touch the stove is hot. How do I know that? Because I touched the stove. My parents told me the same thing, don't touch the stove is hot. It doesn't matter, there's just something in us that says, I know that you told me don't touch it, but you touch it anyway. My question to you today is, who are you going to allow to learn from the scars? Who are you going to show your battle wounds? Soldier? Or how did you get your stripes on your shirt? Tell me that you've been through something. I understand you say God is good, but how do you know God is good? What did God do for you? I understand you say as a servant, but tell me what happened when you served. How did it apply to your life?
Amen.
Many times people won't, we say this all the time, people want to read the Bible of your life before they want to hear about coming to your church. They want to see you acting out and you be a light post for him before they actually come to your church. Okay, but when you say, okay, well, come to church, well, why should I come to church? Look how you live, how you talk, and what you're doing. And it don't seem like it's working for you, so I'm good doing this on my own. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. So you're telling me these things don't disqualify me? So I told you that Nehemiah was in exile. But now Nehemiah is a cupbearer. A cupbearer was one of the most trustworthy places in the Bible. The cupbearer had to guard the king against poison, and many times people tried to poison the king's cup. Sometimes the cupbearer was required to even swallow some of the wine before he even served it to the king. The kings had confidential conversations with the cupbearer. The position of a cupbearer was greatly valued and given only to a select few throughout history. You're saying, where are you going with this? Hope people are just still tokens today. But see, the problem with church folks is, you haven't been a cupbearer all your life. You have not been a cupbearer all your life. You have to realize that your current view, Your current view that you have right now is only because God sustained you in your former view. You haven't been a cupbearer all your life. That's where I struggle at, and that's why I always try to be as transparent as possible, because I realize I haven't been a pastor all my life. I got some scars. You want to see them? I'll tell you about them. I haven't been perfect, but I'm showing you as a glimpse of what God can do. The good thing is that, so that your current view is only because God sustained you in your former view. I just right there, right now, God alone needs to all praise make. God, I thank you for sustaining me, God. When I didn't have it all together, God, I thank you that my view now is a little bit different than the view that I used to have, God. God, I thank you for that. God, let my heart never be so hardened to the point that I can't remember what you saved me from. Hallelujah. God, thank you, God. God, I didn't always have the view that I have right now, God, and I thank you, God. God, you're the God, you're there for me in disappointment, and you're the God when I'm in destiny, God. I thank you, God, you're the God who saw me when I was in this, but God, I thank you that you're the same God when I'm in destiny, God. I thank you, God, that when I was in exile, you're the same God who sees me in elevation. The same God when I was in pain is the same God who can see you in purpose. The only thing that changes, your seat has changed. God said, it's time for your seat to change. I know you've been sitting in one spot, but that's the type of God that we serve. It does not matter where you start, but how you finish. Somebody there, your seat, it has to change. Your seat has to change. Your view has to change. I understand, I don't care how long you've been sitting there, but all it takes is one word from God. I'm telling you, it can bring elevation.